Hello, my name is Greyson Rundgren, and this is Portfolio Content Creation 1's Week 4 Milestone 4 of my chosen discipline of character modeling. I did the best that I could. I was not, unfortunately, once again, not able to do tertiary details simply because I didn't have time. If it was just this, I probably would have been able to do it, but I honestly just kind of want to ask a question right now. Whenever you do the review of this model, if you do another one, just kind of wondering why I was given realistically 2 days to do this and the demo reel. Now, I do understand that the demo reel was able to be done from the very first day of the class, but I couldn't really use my model properly until it was as done as I could possibly make it, which means I couldn't really work on the demo reels. In this case, I could not work on the animation for the demo reel until I actually had the model done. And especially in the case of the low poly, because I had to do major reworking with that, which I will show you in a moment. But I mean, I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. It took almost 15 hours of rendering time just to get about 10 seconds worth. Like literally these two videos right here, the low res, and I couldn't even do the actual normal model because it was so dense that it just took way too long. So if I messed up once, I would not have been able to do anything. So I just decided to import the high resolution and use that. It worked pretty well, except for once again the obvious line, which I did smooth out. Once again, I will show you in a moment. But I'm just kind of confused as to why I was essentially given 2 days to do this. Because as I said, I could not really use this. I mean, the scene was largely set up, but I still had to do test renders, and that took a while. Not to mention the fact when I did a batch render for the animation, it was completely different from what the heck the render in Maya looked like. So I had to do more of those, and those take a lot longer. I'm just kind of scratching my head why I had so little time for this. I honestly don't understand, but maybe I did it. Maybe I went about this the wrong way. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do this. Maybe just a play blast of this would have been just fine. I'm not sure, but if you can give me an answer on that, I'd greatly appreciate one because I've been stressing over this, and I want to do more than just these two. I want to do a close up of the face. You can just do so you can see the detail. As a matter of fact, what I really wanted to do, I actually set it up so the wireframe was shown, but for some reason, and I couldn't quite figure it out, and I don't really have time to figure it out, because once again, as I said, these renders take a ludicrously long amount of time, but I had this set up, but for some reason it would not do any more of this wireframe past whatever was the first frame I rendered. So there's 120 frames, I'd have to do them all one by one. If I'd known that before, maybe could have done it in time. I doubt it. I really want to do it because obviously it's sort of hard to see the actual lines. The lighting does help in certain areas, but it's just a lot easier if I had it like this. And I will try to figure out in my free time before the next class, I will try to get it working because that will make the demo reel look a lot better. Maybe try to get that close up, but as I said, this just was not enough time. And well, back to the actual model. What I was able to do was try to smooth out the sternocleidomastoid, particularly this part. This was a lot more detailed before, as well as tilt the ears out somewhat. I didn't want to tilt them out too much because then they start looking kind of cartoony and like elf ears. And he doesn't really have those, so That's as far as I got. Like I said, the rendering took so long that I could not really work on tertiary details. Um, so yeah, I don't like giving excuses, but I don't know what else to say to this. I mean, I've spent most of my time just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for renders to finish because it just chews up so much time and energy of this computer. I can't really work anything else. In fact, I've been told to not do anything while it's doing batch renders for the sake of the computer and for the sake of the fact that the renders actually work and not have it crash, excuse me, midway through. So that's pretty much all I've been able to do. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. Let me quickly get the topology back and I will show you what I did to fix the eyes. They are now more circular. You can sort of see the mask right there. I, I also consequentially working on this has severely decreased a lot of the lines that were down here. There's still a lot, don't get me wrong, there's a lot, and probably should try to figure out ways of getting rid of them, but it's a lot less than it was. In fact, there's a lot less lines on the side of the face than there were before. It's a lot less cluttered, as well as the fact that I just tried my best to get the eyes a bit more manageable and more circular, and it does look a lot better than it did before, so thank you for that suggestion. And back to the high resolution, let me turn this off. I did smooth out that um, little part that was not quite projected properly on the ear, as well as smooth it as best I could for the lips without removing the detail on them. But overall, this is what I have been doing for the past 2 days when I wasn't waiting for the renders to finish. But if I was not supposed to do it that way, by all means, please tell me. But this is the only way I could think of where I could get properly done renders of the models. Probably should have put in some uh, full environmental light and like maybe a very faint area light or directional light, so I could just get the area to not be black. But um, I was more concerned of trying to get it as bare minimum done as I could so that I could get the renders done as quickly as possible. So yeah, I don't mean to complain or anything, but that's what I've been doing for the past 2 days. Mostly just waiting for renders to finish. So, but anyway, thank you so much for your critiques and for being very detailed with them. It certainly helped me get this model. Oh, I almost forgot. It has certainly helped me get my model a lot better than I ever could on my own. I did try to add that little sort of box tube where the trachea is shape. I think this part may be a little too defined right there. It's kind of in a weird. It's almost like a 90-degree angle, just shy of that. So it looks a little odd. Maybe just smooth that over a bit. But once again, back to what I was saying. Thank you so much for your critiques and for your help with this. I'm very appreciative of it. And I hope that what I have done is met to your standards.